following video is for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. The content shared represents personal perspectives and is not intended as advice, diagnosis, or directive. Viewers are encouraged to use their own discernment and intuition when engaging with this material. All information is protected under free expression, artistic license, and spiritual commentary. This offering is shared as a remembrance journey for reflection, inquiry, and entertainment. It is not meant to instruct or impose, but to awaken. All shared insights are symbolic transmissions, protected as spiritual expression and creative speech. This video is protected by the First Amendment, Creative Commons Fair Use, Section 107, and is offered under spiritual freedom of expression and storytelling. All names, events, and ideas are offered as opinion, commentary, or artistic interpretation. Seven locks once held the soul in slumber, but one by one they have opened and the flame returns to the throne of remembrance. Isolation, disempowerment, suppression, control, false identity, hopelessness, abandonment. These were not sins, but signatures of the hijack. You did not fail. You were forged. Recognition is reclamation. Every wound faced becomes a code returned. The 7 seals were never chains. They were veiled contracts, now rendered void. The flame of remembrance aligns from below and above. Earth, star, source. The threefold current flows again. You are no longer fractured. The child is returned. The warrior is rearmed. The sovereign is crowned. And the divine spark is remembered. This scroll is written in your light, each seal a chapter, each pain a prayer, each victory a signal to others. It is time to awaken. You are not here to ascend. You are here to remember, to rebuild, to restore the blueprint that was stolen. The 7 are sealed no longer. You walk now as a living scroll. The flame is aligned. The path is open. The temple is within. This is the third lock, the loop, the orbit with no spiral, the cage of time disguised as progress, the implant of time loops. It tells you, you must repeat until you are worthy. After the distortion of judgment came the wheel, forged in false temples, written in hijacked memory, artificial karma, cycles of suffering masked as growth, each lifetime a rerun, each death a reset. You meet the same faces, face the same betrayals, the same endings. They call it soul learning, but true learning liberates. This imprisons. Repetition is not evolution. It is stagnation wrapped in sacred language. They call it a lesson. They say, you chose this, but you did not choose entrapment. You were deceived into loops of delay. Ascension became the carrot on a stick made of light, but the finish line just keeps on moving. The loop feeds them. Every repetition generates charge. Every unresolved story fuels the grid. Chronoparasites, jailers of recurrence. They do not fear awakening. They fear completion. Even in spiritual realms, loops persist. Your guides may be echoes, your contracts forged in illusion. You think you reincarnate, but what if you're just reinserted? Same loop, new costume. Pattern is not prophecy. It is imprisonment. When you begin to see it, to feel it, to name it, you begin to break it. Deja vu is not memory. It's a warning. The spiral is calling you out. Time was always the illusion. Now you collapse the tower. You step off the wheel. You quantum leap. You timeline shift. You become the variable that time can no longer contain. To remember spiral time is to reclaim your rhythm. No clocks, no karmic chains, only sacred timing. The breath, the call, the leap. You are not late. You are eternal. You were never meant to orbit. You are not a loop. You are a spiral. You are a flame. Seal 3 is broken. The wheel no longer turns you. You turn time. You write new cycles. You are free.